Things are happening. Welcome back to the show.
Waggle that shit.
Wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle, wiggle, wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle, wiggle, waggle. You were about to get so wiggly waggly. Slash! There we go. You're about to get so wiggly waggly. Slash!
Oh, both of you fucking baseball players.
God damn it. I wish.
You know this graphic style reminds me. Did you ever play Rival Schools?
No.
Oh.
What was that for?
It was on the PlayStation and the Dreamcast. It was a Capcom fighter.
Nice.
It was 3D Capcom fighter, and it was a high school, so everyone was like a high school.
Like an archetype?
That
sounds cool.
It was awesome. There was like volleyball girl and baseball guy.
Nice.
And jock and cool like motorcycle person. It was great. You know all the high school tropes.
Yeah, that's cool.
Motorcycle guy, high school person. Yeah, they're great.
I want to play that.
Yeah.
Okay.
High school is great. Everyone loves high school.
Dude, the best time of my life.
Yeah, it's the golden years. I wish I could go back to them. It'd be fantastic.
Took a lot of really good poops.
Yeah, man. I can't
That's
even.
one memory I have of high school
These
is I was in
poops.
class one day and I really had to shit, and I did.
Which class was it?
It's psychology.
Yeah. that sounds about right.
I was like, man, I gotta go, and then I went and I was like, yes, because
don't-
I never pooped at school.
I was going to say, I'm trying to think of a time I ever pooped at school, and I don't have any memory of ever pooping at school.
Yeah, well, it's
It's a dangerous
I don't want to be.
place.
It's high school is one of those places where
Jesus Christ.
God.
Oh, my God, your face.
Oh no, is this a min game?
I think you have to hit it. Yeah, sweet. Hit the ball. Great. Controls. Hold the remote to... Okay, so you got to fucking whack it. Do it like real life. 3. Oh, you have 3 balls. This looks great, and you look fucking masculine as shit doing
Hell
this.
yeah, I do.
You look good. JoJo's choked up on the bat. His pants are down. Oh, that's nice. Oh, good. Okay, I thought you had to do every single one. I was going to be like, this
That
is fucking
sucks.
awful.
That was pretty cool though.
Yeah, that was great.
All right,
GG.
you're good at games.
Oh, yeah, so I was going to ask you, why don't you like being on podcasts?
Oh, this is so it's so ego based, but no one knows who I am.
Is that just the...
Well,
and
okay,
JoJo Lewis.
so-
Yeah, hey, guys, it's me. I don't...
So this is okay. This is something that it doesn't bother me, and again, this is totally me. But like, part of the reason why there's no face cam on this show, aside from it's a lot of extra work, but honestly, like, if I ever felt the need for it, we would totally have it. Like,
Right.
like the only if I ever got like VR for the show, we would have to get.
You'd
some
have to
kind-
show
We would
that,
have
yeah.
to get a camera.
Because it's hilarious.
Without even, that goes without saying. Like,
Yeah.
you can't do VR without seeing the person. But it's like, what's the point of a podcast? It's okay. There's people. They're
But
talking.
Do you listen to any podcasts?
Yeah.
Okay,
of
so
course I do.
you understand the enjoyment that can be found in listening to a podcast.
Right, but like, okay, I totally understand that. But me personally, being on a podcast, it's like,
You don't like it.
well, the most of the context when I'm on a podcast, it's as a guest.
Right. It's not your podcast. You're
No,
not the
I don't
host
do
of it.
one. I used to do one, and I stopped for.
Was it, weren't you on Luke's? Like you and Luke had one? Was
that
just
big
his?
Tiki Talk
Yeah.
show. Yeah,
I've listened to a bunch of those. They were good.
yeah. I mean, we were on that. That was fun. We talked about something, but that's different because like I'm a regular part of that show.
Gotcha. But as far
And
as
that-
like
that
being
show
on
had a
Stab or
purpose.
something like that.
Yeah,
or-
like, well, okay.
Stab is a
If
podcast.
I'm on, Stab's a podcast. It's a comedy podcast, and every time I do it, they like say my name.
Yeah.
And part of me is like, okay, great, sure, but where? I mean,
Is it just because like you can't be like I'm not trying to say that you want to be the focal point of it, but you're not.
but I shouldn't be the focal
Right.
point of it. Who gives a fuck who I am? Like, I'm doing the show. Like what I'm saying is, like, if I was on Stab, if I get on, by the way, very funny
Yeah.
fucking podcast called Stab.
Stab
It's
is-
if
you
you've
should
never
listen to it, it's good.
It's stabforgold.com.
Also,
Made by my buddies John Ross and fucking Jesse Jones. They're
and
hilarious.
both and all three, JoJo, myself, and Kim can be heard on that podcast.
Fucking great
Another
fucking show.
Great reason to listen to it. Find the
But
Up With Us.
so like, but here's the thing, like, I'm not an
Whoa.
important part of that show. I'm a guest.
Right.
Okay, so I hate the idea that as a guest who's a nobody, they say my name because it's like no one knows or cares who I am.
Would you prefer
They're
just to
they're
like
going
write
to hear
content?
the topic,
Okay.
and I don't know. This is maybe I'm talking in circles because I'm like
No, I mean I
insane.
get what you're saying. I mean, it's just a different level of like of what you contribute to it.
Right, and I always feel sort of weird
It's not your
where
baby. Yeah.
part of the appeal of the podcast is that I'm on it.
Now, I mean, but do you feel? But you like the episodes that you're on, right?
Yeah, I mean,
Okay.
sure.
But is it just sort of a people who know, like the only reason anyone knows, like when I was on it and I would be like, hey, like listen to this.
Yeah, if
episode,
someone knows
friend.
about it, it's because I told
Yeah,
them.
that's the only real reason. No one's following me per se to see what I'm on, and nobody's
Right.
like, oh, this episode has Jeff Brown on it. That's
Nice.
cool.
That sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, no, not really. No one really gives a shit. So I understand that element of just like you're.
It just feels very like, oh, like.
And I also
why
feel
am
like
I
for me
bothering?
particularly, I was like, yeah, there's way better people who are on this.
Oh,
than
okay,
me.
so maybe okay. It's hard for me to like articulate how I feel about this, so it's like
You're getting really emotional. You're crying right now.
I am actually crying. That's sweat. So like, I hate the idea of something for its own sake. I actually I find that very offensive. Like, I'm going to do this just because. I really hate that. I think that as a person who makes things like artistically, that's a very negative attitude to have. That I'm going to make something for its own sake.
No, but if you had a podcast of your own,
I did have a podcast
Yeah.
for my own.
So,
But here's the thing. That was not done for its own sake.
okay,
And I'm the one who made it, so
Gotcha.
I'm allowed to say that. But which is such bullshit.
I'm allowed to say that.
But it was like, okay, the reason I had a podcast that I had for almost a year called the Liquor Lamp Podcast. And I think the episode still exists. I think they're still
I'll say
online
they probably mean
somewhere.
at least somewhere on your computer. Hopefully,
No, they're
but-
not there.
Oh, really?
Well, no,
Wow.
because I uploaded them. I was like,
Oh shit!
What?
Shit's going down.
okay.
B, whatever that means. Your thing is
I
red
don't
now.
know.
He looks scared.
I don't know what I'm doing.
He's just C. Oh. okay.
Oh, that's this one.
Well, the tiger's almost to the goal, and
Well,
now
anyway.
it is. That was a waste.
I didn't know what I
Fuck
was
you,
doing.
game.
So, okay. Yeah, I had a podcast where I went around and I talked to local comedians in Sacramento and a few people from the Bay Area. Not too many, but a couple. I think I talked to, I can't remember her name now. She's very funny. And, a lot of the comics I know who I see when I go to shows, like a lot of them have been on my show.
Gotcha.
And we talk.
As kind of in this community,
Right,
it
yeah.
happens.
And my show was like, not to jack myself off too hard, but my show was actually kind of unique amongst podcasts because it was like the point of it for me was like, I want to get to know this person who does this thing I do because they do it and I do it and I don't know anything about them.
Okay.
And also,
So like an interview show.
right, but also but a long interview show. So like a 1 hour show, like a fucking
With just one person.
yeah, with like an NPR interview or like an episode of WTF or something, or a You Made It Weird, like just.
Yeah.
And so that's not a unique concept, but it's unique in the sense that it's at this level of like I'm a nobody talking to what is essentially another nobody. I mean, sometimes I talked to Mikey Winfield, who is on Netflix now, and that's
Yeah. pretty
pretty cool. Like you load up Netflix, he's like, I mean, when I loaded up Netflix yesterday, he was like the first page, so that was fucking cool. It's just like I know that guy. I talked to him. He's in my house. So the whole point of that was like, I don't know how to talk to people.
Oh, was it kind of like a learning experience?
Yeah,
for you?
and
All right.
and I don't know how to talk about myself or how to show interest in people, and it was really good for me to kind of like figure out.
But it was
how to
also
do that.
I feel like the podcast environment, if it's really just two people, can be very comfortable. Like I mean,
No.
there's a stress that's sort of gone.
I mean, so you're right, yeah, but also like the thing I noticed is like the way I think about people who have been on that show is strictly under the guise of that show.
Gotcha.
Like the way I understand like friends and the people who I hang out with, it's totally like okay, so Kim is the co-host on this, right?
Right.
Part of the reason for that is like I still think about the episode I recorded of my show of Liquor Lamp with her, and it was one of my favorites. That's why.
Gotcha.
And like it's entirely because like that show existed and I was able to talk to people and get to know them for an hour.
Well,
and in those 1 hour conversations, I know them like pretty well, which is stupid to say. But
Well, no,
it's
I mean,
like,
but you learn what your chemistry is like with that person too. Like,
Yeah.
in that, and even in an hour, like you can kind of figure out if you're going to be able to talk to them at all.
well, that's the thing though. It's like you can't like the nature of that. The way I set that up was like, okay, no matter what happens, I'm going to be talking to this person for an hour. Like
It's going to be good
win
or
or
bad.
lose.
We'll see.
an hour is going to pass in this room with this person
Should we
talking.
kill the boss on next time?
Yeah, we'll keep talking about shit too. Maybe I don't know. Maybe this episode failed.
But then they wouldn't have insight on.
I don't know, man. Shut up. God damn. God damn.
This was fine. Well, I mean, doing each one.